I feel like sketchbooks for artists are those places that they can show themselves, they can practice, and basically have fun with art. But as well, I feel like a lot of us, a lot of artists, are really trying hard to make their sketchbook presentable and fun to watch and extraordinary in a way. So today I'm gonna show you 5 ideas of how to make your sketchbook look aesthetically pleasing and how to basically throw a little bit of spice in it. So let's get into it. Okay, so my first idea on how to fill your sketchbook in a aesthetically pleasing way is to just do a spread full of colored sketches. And here I'm gonna be using my favorite Prismacolor Kohl Erase pencils to sketch all of that. And basically here what I'm doing is I'm opening my sketchbook on the first free spread that I have, and I'm just gonna pick a couple of references of girls' faces on Pinterest, and I'm just basically gonna sketch them out, but without paying a lot of attention to the resemblance. I'm just having fun with it. I really love those Prismacolor pencils for sketching because they have this sort of bouncy feel to them, which allows me to be more free and more loose with my sketching, and they just make the whole sketching process far more enjoyable, so that's why I like using them a lot. And here just pick the references that you feel like you want to practice on, that you feel like kind of match together, because since we're doing a spread you kind of want to be coherent as well. But yeah, also you don't need to put a lot of effort in it because we're just practicing, we're having fun, we're using colors, and with all that, using different references, using different colors of the sketching pencils, it just makes your entire sketchbook spread far more visually interesting and visually engaging. And here obviously you don't need to pick only women's faces for, let's say, the topic of your spread. You can go with male faces, you can go with animals, you can go with specific body parts, for example. You can go with, I don't know, flowers, some sort of nature. My idea is to just fill an entire sketchbook with those loose colored sketches because I think that looks very cool and interesting, but the topic you're gonna pick for this spread is entirely up to you. Since you guys know I love drawing girls, that's why I went with a obvious choice, which is female faces. And not gonna lie, I think it honestly looks pretty awesome. My next idea is a little bit different because this one won't really include any sort of drawing process, but it's gonna be more about doing this sort of collage of your drawings and filling a page just like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the drawings that I did recently, but not in my sketchbook. I did them on different sort of papers, on just loose sheets of paper, and I didn't have a place to kind of put them. And also these drawings might not be my favorite, but I think altogether they can fill up a page quite well and they can add this interesting value to my sketchbook. So I'm cutting them out of those pieces of paper that I drew them on, and I'm just basically taping them onto a page of a sketchbook. Here you can use a glue stick, you can use washi tape. Washi tape is nice to use because it adds another kind of value, visual value to your collage thingy. But yeah, go ahead and use whatever you want just to stick it on the page. And here you can be as creative as you want. You can use your old drawings, you can use your newest drawings, you can add something to those drawings, you can like stick some stickers onto it. Here you can just go with the flow and with your creativity, and you can pretty much stick anything to this page, anything that you like and anything that you think is gonna look good. My next idea of how to fill your sketchbook in aesthetically pleasing way is quite simple, but yet I think very good to use, because I would say dedicate a couple of the pages of your sketchbook. I mean, you can start with one, just like I do in this example, and you can just use a bit of space in your sketchbook for practicing. And here I would say not practicing just anything, but focus on one element. For example, here I'm gonna be practicing drawing hands, and I'm just specifically focusing on this one topic, and I'm dedicating a full page to it. So I'm just gonna fill in this entire page in hands drawing. In this way, you have this very nicely arranged page with one specific topic. And here, obviously, you don't need to draw hands just like me, but you can just pick any body part or any specific thing to practice on. I would say just stick to picking one specific object, thing, body part, and then use an entire page or entire spread to practice on it, because in that way you're gonna get this very aesthetically looking page or spread that you're probably looking for. Also bear in mind that all of the ideas that I'm giving you in my today's video are customizable. You can take each idea and kind of make it your own. You don't need to stick with the exact idea that I'm showing you, you can kind of translate it in your own way. And that is also what I think makes those ideas super fun and super cool to use. It's just their versatility. You can use each and every one of them, put your own spin to them, and use it in your sketchbook. The next idea is more about enhancing the already existing sketches, the already existing pages that you have in your sketchbook, because here I'm just gonna add color to my already created sketches. And sometimes I feel like my sketches, your sketches, can lack a little bit of the visual interest, especially when you leave some of your drawings or sketches unfinished. So here what I like to do is I'm taking a marker and I'm picking a color that will kind of fit to my page or give it more contrast. And I'm just basically filling the blank spaces that I have surrounding the drawings, surrounding the sketches. And with this little simple trick, I'm adding a lot of value and I'm adding this sort of fun element to my page. This is the trick that I'm using quite often, also to make my drawings pop more off the page. You can see it on this spread that I did a while ago. I think this is a super simple but yet very effective tip. Another idea I have for you on how to make your sketchbook more visually interesting is to use new mediums in your sketchbook. And here you don't need to go totally against your preferences. For example, I wouldn't recommend using, for example, oil paints in a sketchbook where you use mostly pencils and markers, but go with something that is kind of still within your field of interest, I would say. So here, for example, I really like using Posca pens. So here what I would recommend you guys doing is taking 1 or 2 Posca pen colors and just freehanding some drawings. Here again, you can use references to make it easier for you and to kind of focus more on the line art, on the shapes, and on the general feel of the drawing and not on the idea as much, because you want this to be playful, you want those sketches to be fun, and you want them to be just kind of visually cool. So here you don't need to put a lot of focus on what you're drawing, but kind of how you're drawing it. As you can tell, this differs a little bit from my usual style because I'm focusing more on freehanding those sketches, focusing more on kind of blocking the shapes, just being very loose with it. And I think that this is what makes those sketches so unique and so fun. Alright, and that wraps up my 5 ideas for aesthetically pleasing sketchbook. Let me know which one is your favorite and which one are you going to use. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!